Namaskar, I am Anubhav Ranjan and you're watching Ritam. In the aftermath of Sheikh Hasina's ousting, Bangladesh has spiraled into a distressing period of communal unrest, with Hindus facing the brunt of escalating violence and systematic oppression. Under the interim government of Muhammad Yunus, the nation has become a breeding ground for unchecked hate crimes against minorities, exposing both the inefficiency of the current regime and the indifference of global powers, especially the West. From the desecration of temples to the illegal arrests of Hindu figures, the plight of the Hindu community in Bangladesh is worsening at an alarming rate. The latest incident is an extension of a chilling pattern of targeted hate fueled by the apathy of the authorities and the silence of international watchdogs. The recent detention of the two idols of Hindu leader Chinmoy Krishnadas while they were merely trying to deliver food to him in prison underscores the calculated operation. Despite prolonged protest by ISKCON members and the Hindu community and eventual permission for food delivery, the act exposes the double standards and sinister motives of the Yunus administration. Even as India and various Hindu organizations have vocally condemned these atrocities, the Yunus government remains defiant. The Hindu priest's arrest sparked mass protest and drew international attention, yet the Bangladeshi interim leadership has shown no intent to address the unrest. Former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, now in exile in India, has called for the release of Chinmoy Das, but her appeals have fallen on deaf ears, both within Bangladesh and the global corridors of power. The situation took a darker turn when a Hindu temple in Chittagong was attacked by a mob amid the unrest, and another in Malikpara was vandalized on November 15th. In Malikpara, Islamists forcibly broke into the Vishnu temple near a border guard Bangladesh camp, looted donation boxes and left behind a trail of desecration. This blatant act of hatred occurred under the very nose of security forces, highlighting the complicity and incompetence of the authorities. Equally horrifying was the brutal assault on Gyan Bhushan, a Hindu tin vendor in Mymensingh, whose shop was looted by jihadi assailants. The violence against Hindus has become systematic, with incidents like the vandalization of the Ma Kali temple in the Kushtiyas, Uttar Magura, Mahasamshan, further illustrating the entrenched bigotry in Bangladeshi society. While Hindus in Bangladesh endure this essential threat, Western nations, so often vocal about human rights in other parts of the world, remain conspicuously silent. Their hypocrisy is glaring. These same nations, which fabricate narratives about the alleged plight of minorities in India, turn a blind eye to the persecution of Hindus in Bangladesh. Their selective outrage exposes a troubling bias, one that prioritizes convenience over justice. The grim reality raises an uncomfortable question: how long will the world tolerate this duplicity? The West's indifference and the Yunus government's failure have created a dangerous environment where minorities live in constant fear, abandoned by those who claim to champion human rights. The ongoing atrocities against Hindus in Bangladesh are not just a stain on the Yunus government, but a damning indictment of the global community's selective morality. As temples are desecrated, idols shattered, and lives destroyed, the silence of the West grows louder. The world's failure to address the plight of Bangladeshi Hindus reveals a deep-seated apathy that risks emboldening further violence. It's time for the global community to shed its hypocrisy, hold the interim government accountable, and ensure that the voices of the persecuted are no longer ignored. Silence in the face of such injustice is complicity. Jai Hind.